Hey everyone, it's Penny Zenker, your productivity expert. Today I want to talk about FOMO. FOMO is killing your business. It's killing your productivity. And I want to tell you specifically, I was having an event with a group yesterday, and I realized what it is for your business about FOMO. It's that balance between urgency and importance. That's where FOMO gets us, is it makes everything urgent. And we already as entrepreneurs have that challenge where we have this sense of urgency, and we're in a culture where the urgency is elevated, right? Because you are available 24/7 if you let yourself. Your phone is beeping and buzzing, your email is going. There are so many ways for, social media, for the beeps and the buzzes to keep you from doing the things that are most important to you, that are strategic, that are going to help you reach your goals. So this FOMO, this fear of missing out, or I want to say in our business, it's fear of not responding, right? So it's really because you're concerned that somebody is connecting with you and they might be a customer that's going to want a pricing, and so you want to jump on that. Well, I promise you that they're still going to want that pricing in 1 hour after you finish the task that you're focused on. You have to ask yourself, how important to you is your integrity? Because if you're working on something and you're not giving it your dedication, and you're going to end up making mistakes and taking twice or 3 times as long to complete it because you have to touch it so many times. That's a waste of your time, and it can also come down to your integrity because you're going to make mistakes. And that could be at the expense of another client just for that new proposal. So I want to challenge you to really see what are your values, and connect with how this is actually violating your values by not giving your focus and attention to the thing that you set out to do. Now, I'm not saying that it isn't important to be responsive. Absolutely. And you can have tiers of service in your business so that people who are your best clients and they pay more, they may be getting a higher level of response time and a higher level of service, and they can pay for that, right? And everyone else can be also setting expectations with what level of service you do provide. So if you're going to provide a 12-hour response time to when somebody sends you an email or text message, that's great. Let them know what your response time is. And also make sure that you're giving your attention to the thing that you started to work on that's important, because what tends to happen is that things that are urgent, right, they don't tend to be the $1,000 tasks. They tend to be urgent and important. But the things that are strategic are the things that get kicked off our calendars because of those $100 tasks that are urgent. And those strategic and important things, those, or I should say important, but not necessarily urgent. It doesn't have to be done today, but we have to do it every day in order to make progress. Those are the things that get kicked off the calendar, and those are your $1,000 tasks. So that's how you have to manage that urgency and importance. Is you've got to manage the fear of missing out. Now, here's a couple of tips on how to do that. Number one, we experience that fear when we see a number pop up on our phone, right? When our phone is there or a notification comes in over the computer, now we have that fear because it's brought up in our head that someone's trying to reach us. What if that is something of great value to my business? Now, if we didn't see that and there were no notifications on, you would not bubble up with that fear. There'd be no reaction in your body and you'd be fine. And then when you came back after that session of work that you were focused on, it could have even been a client session. You don't pick up other people's client calls when you're in a client session. Of course not. So when you're focused on another activity, that could be just as important and just as focused as any client meeting would be. And then what you do is you check your phone after that important time block. And then you can respond to whoever was trying to reach you. And you don't feel stressed about it. You don't think, oh, I guess I lost the deal, because no, you were busy doing something else. You were all in, you dedicated your time, and now is dedicated time to follow up. So it's letting go, right, of the need to be notified and having that top of mind. So you've got to remove that. That's the biggest tip, is to turn off your notifications and just to accept and understand that when you are focused on other activities, you're focused 100% on those activities. And then when you have time scheduled even for response time, then you'll go and you'll collect your emails and your notifications from social media or wherever it is that you're looking at, and you'll respond to them accordingly. Right? That's a very simple tip on how to help with that FOMO. And the other thing that you can do is just to understand is that you're focused on the things that are going to grow your business, right? And if you can really get clear and understand that those things that are urgent, they're only distractions. Because a large percentage of the time, those are not the most important things that you need to be doing with your time. When I go and I track people's time and we look at where they're actually spending their time versus where they should be and need to be spending their time in order to reach their goals, we see a huge gap and mismatch. And that's part of the reason is because we're not time blocking. So that's the second way that we can really support ourselves to get the highest priority items done. And at the same time, not have that fear of missing out because we have a plan. So we turn off the notifications and we have a plan. That plan means is that we know that we have some scheduled times that we're going to be checking in on email and on those messages. And so therefore, we don't let it stress us. We can let go of any uncertainty, because that's what that is creating, is that uncertainty, because we have a plan and we know that we're going to be checking it. And we know that whatever you've scheduled in your calendar, maybe it's every 3 hours you're going to be checking it. So that plan can give you the certainty that you're going to be coming back to that. So those are two really key things that you can use to help to fight FOMO, or what I also say is the fear of not responding. So go ahead and put those two things into practice and see how that lowers your stress level, because that FOMO is increasing your stress level. And it's also creating a mental distraction from helping you to stay focused on anything that you're working on. See the difference. I can't wait to hear your results. No more FOMO. Say no to FOMO. I'll see you in the next video.